Welcome into Triad Tea Time. Scottie Scheffler is boring, and boring golf wins you a lot of money. We're ready to talk about it here on Triad Tea Time. Let's go.
Yeah, the Triad's golf show, rolling out the gate. Marks and Neto in the car, Johnny O can relate. Local course by local course, we take the long way home. We slice it, we stamp it, we never play alone. We know the pain, we know the game. One clean swing.
Welcome into Triad Tea Time. I'm Mark Zanetto, Z-Man here with Johnny O. Johnny, look, Scottie Scheffler is he's boring. That was my prevailing theme watching the FedEx Cup on Sunday, because he just wins, man, and it's nothing. It's spectacular if you like boring golf, and that's kind of like the mantra I'm starting to try to like. Who are you trying to impress? Like when you're out there, just get in with par better, and that's the name of the game. What are your thoughts?
I've been on Scotty since we started this show, because of the boringness. But, again, I have to say this every time. I still love the guy, and he is the greatest golfer on earth right now. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're not idiots. This guy is got it all, except for just that a little enthusiasm that we're looking for. Just watching him over the weekend, just typical Scottie Scheffler. And he's got that little strut, the strut, he's always got his head down, that's his thinking game. And it's obviously a thinking game, this crazy game of golf. I'm just giving him all the credit in the world. The only time he gets excited, he taps in those winning putts on number 8 on these number 18s for, 21, 22 times he's won, I guess, on the tour, is when he sees his little kids. He bends down, he's got that big smile on his face, and that's all we see. And then it's next, when's the next tournament? It's okay. I mean, but I'm just still, as a golf fan, as a watching it on TV, I watch it a lot like you do. I just want to see some more personality, and first guy that comes to mind is DeChambeau. I love that kind of stuff, but Scotty's not that guy, but Scotty's the best golfer in the world.
Yeah. And the numbers back it up. He's a full shot ahead of everybody. Like, that's insane. Like, he's literally, by the numbers, one whole stroke ahead of everybody just by statistics. Right. He's also moved past Rory as the second highest grossing golfer of all time. And by the end of the year, he'll be the number one grossing golfer. He'll pass Tiger. In terms of, now, do they make more money now? Sure. But, he's not close to the same amount of wins, but, he's got a long career ahead of him. And this year has been kind of an interesting one, because I think it says more about not necessarily us and even local media or national media, but more about the public, right? If you don't win every other week, like what it felt like when Tiger was in his prime, people think less of you, which is kind of weird, right? Because golf is hard. And if you look at his year this year, I think he's finished second 5 times. He's finished in the top 5 in every major, except for one, I believe. 3 of the 4 majors he's finished in the top 5, and I think second in 2. That's really incredible. Like, to think that it's an off year for him, and off, in quotations, he's still the number 1 player in the world by a long shot. I think it has a lot to do with we penalize these great players, and I think I do it too, because there's not enough people that push them. And you know what I mean? It's like the heavyweight champion that doesn't really have an equal. There's not that rival.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. It's like he doesn't have, and they did it to Tiger too. Like who challenged? They tried to make something with Phil, but Phil wasn't up for it. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. And when you're that good, you're kind of like in a league of your own.
It's him against the field, the rest of the field. But, you mentioned, the reason why he's so, I think he's just a shy over $1 million away from taking over Tiger's spot for all-time earnings. but it's because of Tiger that these earnings are so high, even to this day,
That's true.
which is just incredible. But to think that he's, with 22 wins or whatever it is, 21, 22 wins, that he's, going to pass Tiger in earnings already, that's amazing because Tiger's got whatever, 88
80
wins or
something, yeah.
whatever it is. I don't know. He's just, and Amanda interviewed him afterwards and said, you've had some tough times this year, okay? And that's almost funny, okay?
It is funny.
You came in second, blah, blah, blah. You came in third, top fives, this and that. And he basically just laid back and said, I've been playing good golf all year, consistent golf. So that was telling me when I heard that, he has been playing very good golf all year long. He did not beat himself. These other guys, actually stepped up and had some good tournaments. And that, for me as a fan, I was happy for that. But it still doesn't make them better than Scottie Scheffler.
No, and what did I say to you on the golf course yesterday? I said that Scottie Scheffler is the epitome of, he's like a professional blackjack player. And when those guys hit those tables, they feel like they're gonna beat the house, but they don't do it with emotion. They literally have a system they run. They don't count cards. This isn't Rain Man. They literally just calculate the probabilities, right? And there's certain things that they always do. You're not going to hit on when the dealer's showing a 6 because, like all of the little nuances that I don't know about, but all of like the basic stuff, he just does it. And if you follow that system, more times than not, you end up winning more than the house. Now, if you go every once in a while, you don't go every day like some of these guys, you're probably not going to win a lot of money, but this is golf. And if you play all the time and you play the averages and you play boring, you are more times than not, when you're at his level, which is at his home course. He says it in the clip I'm about to show you. He's like a +7. I mean, if you're a +7 and you play the averages, you're going to shoot in the low 60s almost every time. And on really hard courses, you're going to be right around par. So why would you take chances when you don't need to? I guess that's my point.
Yep, and he's just so smart. Yeah, well, he's still a joy to watch, but we need someone to chase him though, just to give him a little. And it's not Rory. I mean,
No.
I was just thinking. I don't remember. I mean, it's been a few years, and when I say few, 2, 3, maybe 4 years of Scotty just looking bad out on the golf course. I mean, it happens. Tiger could have those bad things. I can't remember the last time Scotty had one of those. Now Rory, I mean, who's supposed to be the competitor, I mean, he played like ass this past weekend. I mean, that was bad, and that wasn't even showing up. And that, for a guy that is so into the history of golf and all the great, when Live happened and he was just so against that. What? Show me. He didn't show me anything. And from what I heard, he hadn't touched a golf club in 3 weeks. And you know what? Maybe he's having some personal problems again. I don't know, but that was bad. He looked like a horrible golfer this past weekend.
Well, I mean, Scotty was 25 shots better than him in the week. So that kind of shows you. But you know what? I have hopes for maybe we'll have one of these situations where, because golf is so age isn't really doesn't hurt you as much. You start losing some swing speed, etc. But I mean, hell, I could see a Scotty being like Tom Watson and almost 60 years old, winning almost winning the British Open when he's 59 years old. Remember that was like probably 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
As consistent as he is. So maybe you'll have these kids like Coven, and you'll have, Michael Brennan, these guys who are, 21, 24 years old. Maybe they're going to step up and get after it. I mean, our boy Fitzpatrick is still a really great player, and he's third in the world. Cam Smith is second in the world. He's third in the world.
Yeah.
Some of these guys are really young. So there's time for the next suitor or the next, potential challenger to the throne. But Rory does it in he's streaky, man. He is essentially like Phil Mickelson. That's the comp in that respect, because he's as talented as anybody, but he doesn't do it consistently enough there's certain courses that are better for his game, like the Masters. And then, he just has to kind of figure it all out, like the rest of them. Real quick, we're going to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. So that Scottie Scheffler segment is sponsored by Estate Jewelry and Loan. Here they are.
Estate Jewelry and Loan offers fast service, great payouts, affordable collateral loans, and a beautiful selection of estate jewelry and bullion. Visit Estate Jewelry and Loan today.
Feel free.
Just no, please stop in and see Brian over off of Battleground Ave. The Z-Man here is heading over there with a watch or looking for a watch or something like that. You got to get over there and introduce yourself. He will take care of you. Go see Brian DeMore. He's the man in the triad for your gold, silver, and any type of jewelry.
Sounds good. I'm definitely headed over there. I haven't had a chance to, man. Busy. Being a world traveler and all that.
That's
all right. So this is something that they asked Scotty prior. I don't even know when this was, but this is a reporter asking about him just playing at his home course and the amount of strokes he has to give up when he plays like guys like us. Like, because honestly, he plays with members at his club. He said on like Friday or Saturday. So listen to this, and then I'll get into my question.
Depends on the game, but at home, I'm typically playing to a +7. I used to be a +5. They moved me to a +7. And so now we got guys in the group that are getting like 2 strokes a hole, and I typically still will win more often than not, I feel like, but it's just fun. Like, it's just entertaining. You don't know, like, if you're going out there with a 12, 13 handicap, you don't know what the heck's going to happen. And for playing Wolf, there's a lot of volatility there, and it's fun.
So you might even be playing with guys who are not even single-digit handicap guys, or?
Yeah. If I'm at home, pretty much either Friday or Saturday, I'm playing with somebody I'm giving him 20 strokes. I think we're up to 20 strokes now, and he takes them all.
How funny is that? Now,
that's great.
The question I have is, do you think you could beat Scottie Scheffler getting 20 strokes?
So going head to head with him out on a golf course?
Sure. I mean, that's what, or if you're playing Wolf, like, Wolf is, it's round robin. So it's really not against him, but if you were head to head, so let's say it's you against Scotty and, me against somebody else, but Scottie Scheffler, Johnny O, you're the guy. You get 20 strokes against Scottie Scheffler. Can you win?
I'm going to be realistic. I'd probably be playing a different game than I do with you and the boys. I'm going to say no, because I think, I'd be so intimidated, worrying about the strokes. I'm playing the same the tips with him, I guess.
I don't know if that would be the case. Like, think about it. If you'd probably have to play a longer golf course, but I don't think you'd be playing the tips because like anything, like if we went and played with Keith's group at the North Carolina Triad Facebook group, and that, like, unless it's like a tournament like we played, the single digit handicaps are playing the tips. In the middle, you're playing the whites, and if it's senior tees, you get to play senior tees. So if you could play senior tees against him playing the tips, you think that changes anything?
My mindset, I feel like I've improved immensely over the last 5 or 6 years of golf, but my mindset wouldn't come close to beating that man with 20 strokes. I'm going to say it. Let's say I'm playing, because I'm picturing playing on his country at his country club, the whole thing. No way, man. No. And hitting every putt and knowing the greens and him getting his 8 or 9 freaking birdies. I don't know. No, my answer is no. Talk to me. What's your answer?
I think it would depend on, I think I would say no, but I think I would lean towards yes, because I'm in the middle, because to your point, I think I'd be really intimidated. So, but if you're doing match play, like where it's, it's essentially like you lose a hole, like you're just down 1. Like I could shoot a 9 and he could play. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's like I'm down 5 strokes. If it's stroke play, no. But if it's 2 strokes a hole match play, I think you know what I'm saying? Like I think I could probably sneak out a win because, I still, like, I joke around. I still have a couple bullets left in the chamber where I can poke it out there pretty good. So I wouldn't be, 50 yards behind him. I might be 30 or 40 on certain shots. I don't know. It also, again, it would depend on the tee box, but man, on his home course, it'd be really tough. Let's bring him to the triad, and he'd still kick my ass.
Exactly. Boy, how you know what? How much fun would that be?
It'd be so much
I,
fun.
I would hope that I would go into, if we were lucky enough to be able to do that, I would go in with the mindset of just, man, I'm just going to have some fun out here because I'm playing with Scottie Scheffler, and he probably won't say anything to me. He'll probably just, have his head down after each shot, shoot a 63 and say, hey, I hope you guys had fun. See ya. I'm going home to my family.
I don't know. I guess you got to be like cool with him, like Sam Burns, because they chatted it up on at the event. So, and also it's because he was kicking his ass. Like he was super friendly with him because he was up by like 10 strokes. You know what I mean? Like so. But I imagine if it was closer, he probably would have. They would have had. They talked about it. They probably would have went their separate ways. But Scotty seems like I think he would be fun to play with because I feel like he would probably loosen up once he's out there and it's like just practice rounds, having fun.
Yeah.
Shooting with the boys, that kind of thing. Like I just think he gets into that, he silos himself and good for him.
But we're talking about a guy that just won by 8 strokes over the rest of the field in the FedEx Cup playoffs.
Yep. I know. That's wild. But all I know is that if after the match, if it was in the triad, I would honestly, would you take Scotty for some food? We go to Salsaritas, of course. We have 2 locations in the triad. Here at High Point in Greensboro, the High Point one's in the Palladium, right near the theater where you can go see really fun movies, maybe make a day of it. And then also on New Garden Road in the Target Plaza. I'm there all the time, dropping my son off for different things. So yeah, Salsaritas, check it out. Great food, great atmosphere. And great place to bring a family for a quick and affordable meal. Go ahead. I think you had something. I know you always give them some love as well.
Oh yeah, no, we love the Salsaritas. I mean, we live so close to it over here on New Garden. And I, again, remember I told you my kids work there, so I've been going there for, I don't know, 15, 16 years. So I always think, and you've always said it, it's real fresh stuff, and you get to pick what you want. It's always good. I've never left there displeased, that's for sure. But
no, it's a good spot. And then finally for our well, we have 2 more sponsors, but check out For Real 24. I went there was it last week, and I essentially did a like a practice round, and my son had a taekwondo thing, so I went with him before, dropped him off at taekwondo, and then came back, and there was a couple other members in there. Check it out. They have memberships. It's forreal24.com. If you want to reach out to me, I'm sure I could probably set something up for you with Clay and in the crew over there. Even to kind of come with me one time and try it if you want. If you're local, want to check out For Real 24. It's a simulator. I love it. Even my son kind of checked me because I'm playing in a practice round, and I guess I was off the fairway a little bit. And he goes, "Hey, Dad, aren't you supposed to put the ball on the rough piece?" And I went, "Yeah, you're right." So I moved the ball over. So, and if you have kids that play golf, it's so cool because the floor moves. So they think that's really fun. Like if it's on a downhill lie, the floor moves on an uphill lie. So you get to practice, the shots that you get on the golf course. So check out For Real 24 and at forreal24.com and follow them on Facebook. And let's get you over there for maybe a trial and then maybe get you a membership, especially as it gets colder. And if it's too hot, and go in there and play in the air conditioning.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
No, it's
Clay
great.
Jordan. I tried to get Clay to join us tomorrow in our round, but he had something going on. So maybe next week, he said.
So talk to me. You played. We played Pine Knolls, but you played Grandover. Was that a couple days ago?
Last Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
With Phil, Charles, and you have never met Terry Kahn. He's one of Phil's buddies, and we went. They were trying. Phil and Terry were trying to get some money back from a previous Forest Oaks match that we had. So big Grandover fan. Okay, and we're lucky to have it in Greensboro. But we played East. Okay, East is a beast compared to West. I've always played West, and I've only played East, and I've only played West maybe a handful of times over there, and I've only played East once, and that was about 5 or 6 years ago. That one kind of, lack of better term, it ate my shorts a little bit, and I just wasn't playing that well. I wasn't hitting putts, and it didn't go as well as I wanted to. But it's still a wonderful, beautiful course, beautiful resort. We had a blast. We did get, we won. We came ahead in the money again over those guys. But I'm going to say just this real quick. I was a little disappointed. There was from hole number 11 or 12, we had a sixum in front of us.
I'm sorry, what?
And
How many people?
6. Yeah, it was so irritating. It was unbelievable. And we thought, and they had this wasn't Grandover's fault, okay, except for they should have sent someone out to stop it. But, these guys just, and, no sense of urgency up there. It was very disappointing. Okay. And we had to finish the round, the last 6 or 7 holes, playing behind these goofballs. I did call the front office, but nothing was really done. But I will say they took care of us at the end. I went in. I said, come on, you guys are way better than this. They didn't know that was going on. They do not allow that, obviously, like no other course does. And we did get a rain check for the back 9. So they took care of it. Doesn't happen very often, a sixum in front of you. But, if they just had some urgency with getting off the green, we would have been okay.
Rate these people, like, in terms of worst people in the world. The person that is on their cell phone speaker in a public place when they're checking out, the person who doesn't return their shopping cart and they just leave it everywhere, and a person on the golf course that has no sense of urgency. Which of those 3 is the worst person of all time?
There's not a D all above. So
yeah, D, all of the above. They all kind of come in at the same. Sure,
they really do. But just move along on the golf course. We're all paying a lot of money to play these golf courses, especially at Grandover. And that's what really got irritating. But they took care of us. I'm still a big fan of Grandover. But I will say this: if we go, I'm going back to the West course. That East course is just a notch above. Maybe play it a few times and you get used to it, but you get in trouble pretty easily there.
If we played like we're playing tomorrow, but if who in our group would, before we get into Pine Knolls, who in our group would try this shot?
In the hole. That is in the hole.
Can you play that? Okay, play it one more time.
So the ball got stuck in this netting. I think it's overseas. I could hear the accent. I feel like we're in England somewhere, and it looks like there's condos there. So they put netting up there, and it's stuck in the net. So obviously, it really wasn't that errant of a shot. If you can tell, the hole is right there. So tight little spot, and my guy takes out a driver or something. It's a clean. Up the bounces. And ding.
That's unbelievable.
Who in our group is trying that shot?
Well, this is what I'm going to say. I have a really good short game.
Uh-huh.
I would maybe try it, but I probably wouldn't. I'm going to go. I can't believe the ball went in, first of all. I'm going to say Dan the Man Not.
I'm going to say Ed. I think Ed tries this. I think Ed takes out like a specialty club that he found on like Temu or something like that. And he's like, oh, I saw this trick one time and, knocks it in.
he might even say he has practiced that shot with
Very
his
true.
instructor Ted, for crying
Yeah.
out loud.
Yep. I could see that. But I saw that the other day and I was like, we have to talk about this.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, there's nothing like that at Pine Knolls. We played a quick 9 yesterday, and I have not played there in a little while. They've done obviously some renovations and they've worked on a few different things. I was impressed by the layout. I think for me that course sets up really well. It's not very long, but it's there's some holes that you have to have played there before to as you call it. You have to have a well-informed golf game. It's not something that you can just kind of just get out there and the fairways are wide open. Like Holly Ridge, you could actually go there and not really know exactly where everything is and still score because it's pretty wide open. But this is pretty, even though it's short, there's some quirky holes that you have to, like the second hole is a great example of that, that par 5. So, yeah, I was impressed. I think we both played really well, and it was quick, man. Shout out to the group that said go ahead of us from the jump because we finished it in an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh my God. And that made it so nice. Plus it was 95 degrees out. But yeah, that group looked like two dads and their two like teenage sons. And they said, come on, guys, go through. And man, we didn't see them behind us and we didn't see anyone in front of us. And we seem to play a little better when we're in that little bit of a groove.
That's right.
But yeah, that course is great. Again, it is the improvements. The fairways were absolutely immaculate. I got to say, I don't think I've ever seen them like that. And they do have some different holes, some different type holes that kind of keep you guessing and, needing to know where not to hit the ball. No, I'll give Pine Knolls, kudos. I'll go back there. What's his name? Bob Evans is doing a good job with that course, the new owner.
Yeah, no, it's a really good spot. Yeah, for me, I played there with Keith's group, the Triad Facebook group there, North Carolina Triad. And I've always played well there, played well yesterday. And I think it's just because it's just I'm not sure, this isn't a knock. It's a basic course. And it's just it's tee to green, man. If you put the ball where you need to, you can play well there. And there's for me, I always try to take advantage of the par 5s and did that yesterday. And the back 9 is definitely different than the front. I think the back 9 is a little more difficult. But still same thing. I would give them a lot of credit. The greens, there's a couple of patches, but look, it's just we haven't got a lot of rain. Yeah. And it's just hard to it's hard to keep things flush green without manufacturing it, and that costs money. So course like that, they're doing a good job. The new bar and grill looks nice than the last time I was there.
Yeah,
nice little practice facility. Can't beat it, man. For the price you pay there, it's a good spot.
The price is right. And again, we're just so lucky to live in the Triad, man. We got a lot of these type courses, that aren't getting into our pockets, and when we do spend, a good chunk, at the Grandovers and wherever, that's a treat to us. But most of the golf courses we play, in that $40 to $50 range, you cannot beat that because you go 80 miles east or 80 miles south of here and it's double that. So we're very lucky.
For sure. And one of our sponsors, I mean, this is if you want to maybe spend a little more money, but you get an incredible experience and, great food. Chop House, check them out.
In 3 decades, Chop House of North Carolina has set the standard for exceptional dining. Locally owned and operated, we're known for the finest steaks, seafood, and chops prepared exactly to your liking. Here, a remarkable meal is truly complete, thoughtfully crafted with premium ingredients and gracious service. From romantic dinners and intimate family celebrations to business meetings and company parties, we offer the perfect setting for every occasion. Available during lunch and dinner, a fundamental formula executed masterfully. ChopHousesofNC.com.
There they are.
Always look so good.
Yeah, and the thing with me is like I love a good meal. So if you're I'm okay with spending a little more money on a good meal, especially when the service is good, and the service is always good there. My wife and I have always tried to find places where we get good service because we were notorious for you'd go to a place and you just get the worst service in the world.
Yeah.
And so we have a few of our favorites, and that's definitely one of them. So check out Chop House. They're in High Point, and yeah, definitely for a good meal, a special occasion, business meeting, whatever. All right. So last question really of the day, as we go and play Holly Ridge tomorrow. This is something I posted on our Facebook page, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it, which is you have 1 year and unlimited resources to break 70. If you do, you win $100 million. If you don't, you can never play golf again. Do you take the deal?
Yes. I really thought about this. I'm looking at that, and it's and if you break it, you get $100 million, and then you get to play it all the golf in the world. But that 1 year would take everything out of me, man. And I would have to focus on the game of golf, which would be just fine with me, man. Just to have just that on your mind. Oh, that would be great. And you said unlimited resources. Okay.
Yeah,
so
you can get a swing coach. You can get, whatever you want.
Equipment, everything. And we did discuss this off air a little bit, but I'm thinking it's doable, at a course of my choice, and it, not a par 3 course, not some executive course or whatever. Let's put it this way: a course of 6,000 yards. Let's and that's what we usually play, right at the 6,000 yard mark. Yes, I take the deal, man. I absolutely take the deal because number one, it would be 365 days of grinding the game of golf, but having a ball with it, man. Okay. And at my age, I am a little older than you. I would do it and try my damnedest. Number one, because I see that $100 million little price tag on there. I'm all about it. I know I could do it. I would, in that resources, it's got to be, you got to eat right. You got to have, all that kind of good stuff. I'm hoping to get them as a advertiser coming up. What's it called? Zero degree wellness. Doing the ice plunges. I would have to do all that. If I'm going to be swinging every day, I'm going to need all that. But as you said, unlimited resources. I'm doing it. I'm taking the deal, Z.
Yeah, I think it would be really interesting because, first off, I don't think you could play every day. Like that's going to be the interesting part. And also, I will put this as a caveat where within this year, you either from a year from when you say yes, you have to play for like the ultimate time, or do you just get to, like, when you do break 70, you get to, like, that's it? Like, is there like because I think that would change the guesswork a little bit, right? It would kind of change the format, because if there's a drop down day that you have to go play and break 70, that may make things a little more pressure, right? Have a little more ramped up pressure. So if you have a year to do it, but you have to do it a year from that day, like in not a tournament setting, but like, it's like, okay, here's the day. All the preparation that you've done leads up to that. Or is it at some point in the 6-month period, you start breaking 70, all the time? Is that official? Like, I think that's the real, guesswork of this, because I think, when I play with you, you're a trustworthy guy. Most guys I play with are pretty trustworthy, but like, I mean, if we're talking $100 million, we got to make this official, right?
Yeah.
Can't just say, oh yeah, I got 69 today. Like, what are you talking about? Did anyone see it? Did we get that? Is it official? Like, I think you have to have a day like that you're like, all right, I'm like, let's say you break 75 times in the practice time and you go, all right, I'm ready. So then you mark a day and that's your time to choose to go to break 70 officially. Do you still take it?
Well, see, now that you're saying that, if we mark, let's say August 18th of next year, weather-wise, wind-wise, cold, hot, that if it comes down to one day, then it makes you think a little bit.
Yeah.
but it is $100 million, you know. When I first read this, I thought it was 100,000, and I was still going to take
do
the
it.
damn thing.
Let's go. No, I think if you actually had to declare a day, it would be more fun, but it'd also be a lot more pressure inducing because you'd have to be like, all right, well, now is the time I have to show it.
Yeah.
I think that changes the calculus a little bit, but who knows? All right, last thing here before we get out of here. I saw this and I had to make a little meme of it. We're going to post it on our Facebook page and Instagram. Who in our group is quietly elated when someone misses a short putt?
Oh.
So excited. I think I saw this when your buddy hits an errant tee shot or whatever, but either way, it's the funniest thing ever because if you don't know the circumstance, I guess Angel Reese had like a really easy layup to tie the game or win the game, and she missed, and then the Fever won, and Caitlin Clark is behind her going like gleefully, like being like, I can't believe she missed it. So like that's the one. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. It's like that's hysterical.
With a big Caitlin had a big smile on her face, and that look, oh my gosh.
Cheshire Cat grin.
You know, I'm gonna stick up for my boys. You know, I don't think they would show their ass on that, just in case it got on camera, because boy, that would piss me off. I don't know. I don't want to call anybody out on that, but I can't see that face facing her like they are, or facing me, but maybe turning the other way, you know, like, oh well, sorry.
Angel Reese isn't seeing this. So this is somebody that she's smiling to on her team. So like I think I mean I'll just call myself out. If it was me and let's say it was me and you and we're playing against like Charles and Phil.
Yep.
And Phil missed a short putt, which he rarely does, to lose the match. I might have that face to you, like behind his back, like, oh, we just won. But
yeah, that's right.
I just saying, I think it's hysterical. I
got you, man. All in fun, man.
All in good fun. I think it's been a good golf week. Obviously, Scottie Scheffler gets his W. About to be the highest paid golfer ever, all of his own doing, right? He's earned his way. But you mentioned it. Got to give a shout out to Tiger. With creating the type of sponsors and the type of money that is generated now, that these guys walk away with generational money. By the time they're 35, 34, whatever, how old, I think Scotty's 31. He's not that old. So yeah, I mean, Tiger always still has that imprint on the game, and we'll save this for another day, but think on this for maybe the next show. Do we ever see Tiger again, even if it's like on the senior tour, just playing competitively? I'm not saying winning. I'm not saying winning majors. I'm just saying just being competitive out there. So we'll save that for the next show. But
wait, Johnny? I got one more. I got one more stat for you that I think is interesting. The BMW, or going into the BMW championship, what was it? The St. Jude that was just played.
Yeah.
Players, that was ranked 51 to 70. Okay, that did not make it into the top 50. The guys that were ranked 51 to 70, only one player made it to the top 50. Sungjae Im. He's the only one out of those 20 that made it to the 50 from 51 to 70. I thought that was quite interesting. I think it's surprising, to be honest with you.
You know what? I think also too, the last day, the course, Scotty didn't have a problem with it, but the course played tougher on that last day, so it was harder for to make a run. Like Jordan Spieth was teetering on that 50 to 47 to 51, and it's because he's been struggling and not being consistent. But it just you gave more strokes back that day than you did on any other day. So the course kind of reared its ugly head towards the down the stretch there in Memphis. But yeah, it is a big deal if you make that top 50, because you don't have to worry about sponsor exemptions. You're in all the signature events. So it does suck for a guy like Jordan because he's a name to have to worry about that next year. But I'm not going to worry about him as much. I think he'll bounce back. I think he'll go home at night and take a couple hundreds and cry into him. Seems like a pretty good dude, and he'll be fine. So I'm rooting for him though, big time.
Good stuff, man. Well, great show.
I will see you tomorrow, sir. And this has been another episode of Triad Tea Time. See you next time.
Yeah, the Triad's golf show, rolling out the gate. Mark's a netto in the car, Johnny O can relate. Local course by local course, we take the long way home. We slice it, we stamp it, we never play alone. We know the pain, we know the game. One clean